This is one of my favorite journal exercises, especially if you're someone who's looking for clarity. But it doesn't matter what level you're at, whether you are in high school, in university, or you've already sold your business and made, 7, 8 figures, etc. But this is like I said, a clarity journal exercise for any point of life. I like to call it the dream list. It's something that I revisit at least once a year, if not more. It's in terms of doing it, but it's also just a great resource to have once it's done too, and something to revisit periodically throughout your year as well. And so, like I said, it's called the dream list. You've heard of bucket lists or things along those lines. There's parts of that in this exercise, but it's a little bit more than that. So, to dive right into it, the first thing you're going to do is spend some time. This is not something that you spend 15 minutes doing in the morning, writing out, that kind of thing. This is something that you allot time for, right? I'm a big Sunday guy. I love to do Sunday morning reflections and even Sunday afternoon, evening reflections as well. And so leave out at least an hour, a couple hours, more than likely, especially is what I allocate myself. And you're going to list out your dream list. What I mean by that is everything that you want to do in life, the skills you'd like to have and acquire, whether that be an expert in paintball, learn how to surf in a barrel, climb Everest or whatever, in terms of mountain climbing expertise, learn new languages, write all those out, but also write, I've kind of already mentioned, write experiences. Do you want to hike Mount Everest? Do you want to see Bali? Do you want to swim with whales? Write all of those down as well as the places you want to visit, the activities and the things you want to do, as well as the material items that you want to accomplish. And leave no stone unturned here. This is to literally list out everything that would be a part of your ideal and your dream life. Especially lean into things that you, may seem super far away, but you've always wanted to do, right? Hence the whole dream, everything that you've been more or less called to in your life. It's important to write all these down, and don't be afraid to put something that seems, a little bit further away, but also make sure you're adding on things that may be actually super easy to accomplish, because now when we get into step 2 of the journal, which is actually prioritizing them in terms of labeling them like, okay, how much of a priority is this, right? For me, I would be interested in climbing Mount Everest, but there is a great list of things I would rather do before Everest, right? Just to give you a simple example there. And then once you've done that priority list, the next thing you're going to do, once you've given each item a priority, the next thing you're going to do is to actually list for every single item, list the steps or actions you can take now or in general that you can take to help accomplish each one of these goals on the list. And maybe especially if you're in high school, doing something like owning a Lamborghini may seem a little bit far off and may have less action, right? But there's going to be other things like perhaps learning a language or traveling to a certain country or doing something within the United States, if you're an American, that are going to be way easier. And so you need to list out all these things, because that also stacks onto the next step, which is to evaluate and go through each one of these things now that you have your priorities in check and you also have the action that can easily be taken now and is necessary to get to this goal. Because now what you're going to do is, according to those 2 variables, you're going to look at and go through your list and see, okay, what are the things that by doing this, by taking action towards this, are going to help me accomplish multiple goals, right? So if we break down my life, currently we're in Medellin, Colombia. If I were to rewind that back according to what my dream list might be, right? Definitely on there is learning Spanish. Also definitely is coming to South America, seeing Colombia, right? Going from watching Narcos to being in areas where it's been filmed, etc. Just some general examples. But by learning Spanish, not only does it allow me to have an easier time of going to those places, but it also helps the other goals of, okay, I want to be in Spain. I want to do this, right? And flows well into other elements. It also makes me more of an asset to others. It's something that can make me more money and also just help me get to these places either, whether that be through running events or whatever else. And so that's why we go through and check, okay, is there something on this list that One is at a decent priority. It doesn't have to be number one, but it also, can be somewhere even in the middle. But if it's something that helps accomplish multiple things, another example would be the sale of skills. If you want to make money online, you want to be able to travel, and you want to be, free of a traditional 9-to-5, that's another thing. If you learn if you learn the skill of sales, that's something that can accomplish multiple goals, right? And that you could probably be doing whether you're in school or you're working a traditional role, a job, or you've just graduated from uni, right? And so you're going to seek out these things and then take action towards them, right? And so once you've done all of these things, you now have points of clarity and goals and things that you can move toward, and it's completely fine, right? If your intuition is drawing you to other things, or your motivation to accomplish some things is going to be higher or even change over time. That's why, like I said, this is a great thing to revisit, because goals change and points of clarity change, and even like understandings in your life may change, right? But you can have this list of things that you can always pull to for inspiration, for learning, for following a directed path of life and taking action and productive action towards, right? Especially when you do it according to those priorities and the things that help you, right? We just released a video, especially for those of you in uni or in school currently, where it's about building and studying skills that will help set you up in life. And that's the same exact thing you can take in this process, is learning skills or meeting people or doing things that will help you either now or in your future, right? And these are the things that you're going to be forever grateful for yourself, for both taking the action towards to make it easier now or in the future, as well as just accomplishing in general. And so, ladies and gents, that's the dream list. Conquer yours.